Welcome, everybody, into the Blitz Breakdown, episode 15, and we have hit the Final Four. And how about that, Brody? 4 local teams remain.
Yeah, it's very impressive what the 904 is still accomplishing this deep into the season. We got multiple teams in the Final Four, and it's very exciting to watch these teams play in these playoff games. And a lot of them have stepped up to the plates, even though there's some teams that got out last week, like Mandarin and St. Augustine. They still fought their butts off to the very end. So a lot of tough and grittiness out of the 904, and every team is representing the 904 very well.
Great stories as well around the area. I mean, you look at Ponte Vedra making their first Final Four since 2016. Trinity Christian fighting back from 1-4 to make the Final Four, knocking off the 1-seed University Christian. And then obviously you got the dominance this year from Bulls and Reigns that has continued on to another round. And we'll see how many we got this time next week. But for now, these teams are looking good. And let's take a look back to the regional finals last week. And we start off with Ponte Vedra as they took on Mainland, won that game by a score of 27-10, advancing to their first Final Four since 2016. Brody, this was a game where Mainland, they threw for over 300 yards, but PV still held them to just 10 points, a real bend-don't-break type of game there for the Sharks.
Oh, yeah, that's the definition of a bend-but-don't-break. 300 yards through the air. You would think the Mainland would have more than 10 points, but PV stood strong throughout the whole game and fought really hard. Defense forced 5 turnovers. I think that was the big story of the game right there. They definitely won the turnover battle by a large margin. And Mainland's a really good football team. They win in the playoffs. That's what they do. They knocked off St. Augustine, the state championship, a few years back when they had Lachlan Hewitt and all those stud players over there in St. Augustine. So Mainland is never an easy team to get over in the playoffs, and Ponte Vedra did a really good job of that last Friday.
Yeah, and we knew there was going to be some chippiness in this game as well. We heard a lot about it going into it. Did you see at the end of the game, one of the last kickoffs, Ponte Vedra was kicking off from the Mainland 15?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I did not see that. I didn't.
There were some flags out there. I think there was some tussling as well, but 5 turnovers from Ponte Vedra, 3 fumbles, 2 picks. David Doherty with a major game there for the Sharks. Cole Rosendahl keeps it going at the quarterback position. Reach Beck, who's had a phenomenal year, tallies 2 more sacks. He's now at 12.5 on the season. But for PV, we talked about it last week. This is a team that you look back on the start of this year, their first performance against Nice. No one could have seen this coming.
Yeah, no one could have. I didn't know how good PV was as a football team. I thought, their offense and defense had a lot of question marks, but this team really put it together. After that beachside loss, they really just haven't looked back, and they've been dominating a lot of these football games. I mean, 27-10 is really impressive against Mainland, and they got their beachside, avenged that loss in the second round in the playoffs, and they've just been, building every week on their football team. Coach Price over there doing a really good job, and this Ponte Vedra team is one of the more scrappy teams in the area. I feel like you have to say that since they're in the Final Four. If people don't believe that, you got to believe it now. They're 3 deep in the playoffs, going on 4, and excited what they'll be able to do next week.
Yeah, big time win there. They had a lot of alumni too in attendance from that 2016 team. So congratulations to the Sharks on advancing on to the Final Four, and another team advancing to no one's surprise, the Reigns Vikings, 61-15. Brody, another week where we are just talking about the utter dominance of the Vikings.
Yeah, they win. They're 3 deep in the playoffs as well, going into the Final Four. And none of these teams are really giving them a tough match yet. They've been blowing out teams left and right. They have not played a difficult game since maybe midway through the season. And even then, they're still winning by multiple scores. So Reigns just being very impressive every week, and excited to see this matchup this week. And but what they did to Bishop Kenny was a really good football team. They've done some really good things this year, just a little bit outmatched with the talent over there at Reigns. And hats off to Bishop Kenny in their season. They did a lot of good things as well. That was more of an under-the-radar team, but Reigns just too strong.
Yeah, we've gotten a first-hand look at that Bishop Kenny defense this year, and that's a tough unit right there. I mean, for Reigns to go out there, TJ Cole completes 75% of his passes. Tadarius Washington rushes for 114 yards on 12 carries. To just dismantle a unit like that is really something else. How are they able to accomplish that?
They just went up front, man. They got a really good O-line over there. They got a lot of size, and they're very disciplined as well. Sometimes with these teams that are very talented and have the size and athleticism. Maybe they could, sometimes their weaknesses could be the way they execute or the discipline of their plays. But Reigns, they're really on top of all their P's and Q's, and to do what they did against Bishop Kenny is very impressive. Bishop Kenny has a very strong linebacker core and a good D line as well. I thought if there's anywhere they would struggle for Reigns offensively, it would be through the ground game. But Reigns canceled out that noise, and they move on yet again.
Yeah, and Bishop Kenny is a good football team.
Yeah.
Reigns has taken on some of these teams in the area, and it just shows like the levels to where they're at and where other teams are at. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely believe that is a team that could go out and compete with Lakeland or St. Thomas Aquinas. Maybe not IMG, but they can go out there, and it's going to be very interesting, though, because they've blown everybody out except for Madison County in a monsoon, and even that game they won by multiple scores.
Yeah.
What's going to happen now when they get into the Final Four? Booker is a really good team. That was a 5-point game, I believe, last year in the Final Four. If they get past them, they're probably going to see Miami Northwestern. Is this team going to be ready when adversity eventually strikes in these next 2 games?
That's a good question, and I feel like they are, but I'm a big fan of, like, your team has to be battle-tested going into the playoffs. You got to know what it's like to be in these tough games, and to be honest, they really don't. But with the way they've been smothering teams, you could tell Reigns has never let their foot off the gas. They just go 110%. I don't think they take anybody lightly when they play them. I think they do a really good job of going into games one game at a time and not looking ahead and not getting too over their heads on their shoulders. Just keeping the main thing. And I think they got a really good chance of making the state championship appearance yet again. But they really do have to hone in on this team they play next week and really lock in, because I feel like this is going to be their first big test in this Final Four matchup.
I'm very excited to see, and we've talked about their schedule. They did have one big test this year, and that was Lake Mary, who's now in the Final Four in 7A. They went 10-3. They knocked off DeLand, who were undefeated. They beat DeLand by 9. And Reigns beat them 51-3. So we've been talking about it all year. Is it their schedule or is it them? I think it's been a bit of both that's led to their results, but we are really going to find out here the next 2 weeks. Is Reigns really this good? And I can't wait to see it over these next couple of weeks. First off, here in the Final Four against Booker. How about Bulls, though? Absolutely bullied Pensacola Catholic. 44-10 final score. Asher Gitto, the sophomore, totaled his 21st and 22nd sacks of the season. Xander Edwards keeps it going. He's now got 39 total touchdowns, which is 38th in the entire country. He leads Florida in touchdowns and rushing yards. This Bulls team, Brody, they continue to play their best football in the playoffs.
They probably have the best rushing game I've seen all year. I mean, they do. Their O-line is nasty, and they block hard, and Xander Edwards is one of the best backs in the state and in the nation. He's only a sophomore. He's playing out of his mind. And when they need to pass, they will, and they'll go over the top with Burrows, or they'll check down to their time. They got so many weapons in the air game. They just don't really need to use it, because just like Coach Foy says from the Oak Leaf, the easiest pass is or the easiest gain is a handoff, and that's what you need to do when you're in bowl situations. Just keep to the second bread and butter.
From the highlights right here, 2 big touchdowns last week to Naeem Burrows. Camden Teetsy caught a touchdown. He's an underrated receiver over there. I've liked watching him play for a few years now. And then Corbin Fordham as well over at tight end. They've got some weapons over there. And that defense, man, they got beat up a little bit earlier this year against St. Augustine, against Baldwin. But that's a unit that has really come together here. And you see the teams that are playing right now have peaked at the right time.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams early this season, in fact, 3 out of the 4 that are where they are right now, had some early season struggles, whether it be wins, losses, a certain area of the team. But all these teams right now are playing their best football of the season, and that's why they're here, and I think that's what makes playoff football so exciting. And how about one of those teams? Trinity Christian wins their 8th straight game, advances to their 2nd straight Final Four, 27-12 victory over University Christian. They were down early. They come back, and they punch their ticket to the Final Four.
Trinity, I mean, if you're a fan of 904 football, you got to be pulling for this team like the hardest. They got their Cinderella story going, starting 0-4, and now they're heading into their Final Four matchup. I mean, this is probably one of the most impressive seasons I've ever witnessed in high school football, and I've been watching a lot since probably like 2018, 2017, and to see what they've done and accomplished is just so impressive. And the fact that they don't even have that much seniors on their starting roster either makes it 10 times more impressive, because if you want to turn around a team that's 0-4, your leaders need to step up and the whole team needs to glue together, and they've just done a really good job. I feel like these kids will be friends for life for this. This is some really cool stuff they're doing. Micah Anderson having a year, their freshman leading the way in the run game. They're just really fun to watch, and they're a really cool team, and they're probably one of the toughest, and they probably are one of the toughest. It's just really cool what they've done, and it's really fun to see what they've accomplished this season.
And you mentioned it, they're young. They have a few seniors on defense, none of their skill positions on offense. I think they have one senior who plays a little bit on offense, but for the most part, like, their impact players are sophomores, or juniors, are freshmen, and we're going to talk to their stud freshman running back Micah Anderson here at 8:20. This is a group that it's powered by their youth, and to turn it around the way they have is really something else, and I can't wait to see if they can keep it going here and punch their ticket to the state championship, something that Trinity Christian is all too familiar with in their program history. They got a big game coming up here that we'll talk about later. But Mandarin, one of a few teams in the area to fall last week in the regional finals. They fall 27-20 to Buchholz, and this was a back and forth type of game. Buchholz had the advantage the majority of the game, and then Mandarin came roaring back there in the second half. They tied it up. I believe they might have took the lead at one point, and it was really just throwing haymakers there in the fourth quarter, and in the end, Buchholz pulls away, and just an impressive performance there from the Bobcats. They shut down Mandarin's passing game. I mean, they held the Mustangs with Bryson Wright, with Tion Weish, with all their weapons, Knox Andis at quarterback. They shut them down, held them to just 117 yards and 6 completed passes, and then they held Mandarin to their lowest rushing total of the season, 132 yards, which people talk about that passing game, but that run game hadn't been stopped this year, and Buchholz found a way.
Yeah, Mandarins have one of the better running games in the area. They've honestly leaned more on the run game than the passing game. I know Bryson Wright and Tion Weiss has got all these highlights, which they make a big play or two a game, but it's really been the run game that has got them to this point, and when that gets stopped, you can see they can struggle a little bit more offensively. Buchholz they're the Grim Reapers over there in Gainesville. They just always find a way to end the 904 team season, and I hate to see it, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Buchholz is a very good football team, and it feels like they're always finding a way to get to the Final Four, beating some really solid teams. Mandarin was a great team this year. They've done they've accomplished a lot of good things in their season, beating some really solid teams, beating Pace in the playoffs. That was a fun game to watch. And also with that last game of the season, beating St. Augustine, really stamping their name in the 904, saying, hey, we should be the number one team. And they've done some really cool things this season, but just the Bobcats, they just ran into them.
It's a 904 killer year in and year out. And
I don't like to say it.
that stadium's like a graveyard.
It honestly is.
Like, you go in there, it's an odd feeling.
It just, like, I don't know what if you just feel like the energy just gets sucked out of you over there. Like, something about that stadium is just not good. And I don't know what it is, but again, credit where credit's due. Buchholz is always a really good football team, well coached, got the players, and they do it yet again. But again, Mandarin should not be mad about the season they've had. They've accomplished a lot, and they're a really fun team to watch.
And they've got some young returning pieces as well next year. A lot to look forward to with that group. Another team that'll have some young returners next year, including their quarterback, Brenton James. St. Augustine fell just short to Chalk-Tahatchee. 31-28 final. St. Augustine, they turned the ball over twice, and the big one was the fumble at midfield with 6:22 to go, and that one, a controversial call there in the fourth quarter. I mean, I was shocked about it. I was at that game, and I was in the end zone. I was like, that looked like a face mask. He might have been down. And you can find the video on our social media channels. But it looked like quarterback Brenton James was grabbed by one player on one side of his face mask, by another on the other. His knee, I don't think, was down when he fumbled the ball. But St. Aug, I mean, yeah, you can point to that. But at the same time, they gave the ball away. It was 6:22. They didn't get it back. So, there's There's a lot of talk about that, but in the end, Brian Braddock said in his interview with us after the game, they just didn't play their best football game.
And I agree with them. I feel like they were definitely the favorites going into this game. Chalk does a really good team over there in the Panhandle. They've had some strong wins this year, but yeah, St. Augustine just got beat. Sometimes it's not your best day, and people could point it at that call. Trust me, I thought it was a face mask. I honestly thought he was down as well. I swear I'm not trying not to be biased. I thought he was down and there's face mask, but you can't point a loss on one play. And St. Augustine knows that. They know they should have came up with their better ball. But again, they were a really good team this year. They've done a lot of good things. Sad to see them end their season on a game where I know they felt like they should have won that, and it just didn't happen. But that's playoff football. It's you win or go home, and if you let it get close and you let them hang around throughout the whole game, that's what can happen at the end. But yeah, heartbreaker for St. Augustine, but good season, really good season by them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people quite expected that amount of success from them this year with all the pieces that they lost. But I also do want to give a shout out to Trendell Anderson. 19 carries, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns with 142 return yards, 11 more receiving. He's one of my favorite players to watch in the area, and I'm sad. I think he's a senior graduating after this year, but he's 5'5", and he goes out there every week and just balls. And he had maybe his best game of the season there against Chalk-Tahatchee. And then the last area team that played last week, Bradford, they fall to Cocoa 17-10. Cocoa passed for 240 yards, rushed for a pair of touchdowns. In the end, Bradford, just the lack of offense caught up to him.
I mean, that's the question with Bradford every year. Like, can their offense put up enough points to win these ball games? Their defense will always keep teams at least under 20, which is crazy to say. At least under 20, like their defense is elite. They're always elite, and it's very impressive to watch their team. But Cocoa is a really good team, and I knew that was going to be a tough one for Bradford. I think me and you both picked Cocoa to win this game, even though we don't want to pick against Bradford, but Bradford just falling up short. And again, their defense. So fun to watch, and it being at home for them, I bet helped a lot with their crowd. They got a really good atmosphere over there, but it's just sad to see it end for Bradford.
Yeah, Cocoa, I believe the defending state champions in that classification, knock off Bradford and advance, but we've still got 4 teams going, and a star running back of one of them, Micah Anderson from Trinity Christian, joining us after this commercial break on the Blitz Breakdown.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Blitz Breakdown. We're joined now by Trinity Christian running back freshman Micah Anderson, having an incredible year coming off of a regional final win over University Christian. Micah, welcome onto the show.
How you doing?
Well, it's great to have you here, and you guys having a phenomenal year, that bounce back from that 1-4 start. And I want to start off, we were talking during the break, and you're a freshman. There's not too much out there on you yet.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking, what's something we might not know about you? You've been playing football since you were 4 years old. So
yes,
talk
sir.
about kind of your journey to starting at Trinity Christian as a freshman. That's
Yes,
really
sir.
impressive.
It was just like I just had to put in the work, really. Workouts every day. Had to just.
And then, so you started at 4 years old. What was kind of your path to Trinity Christian?
I've been knew about Trinity Christian because my old coach, he coached there. He don't coach there no more. So and my granddad coached him too when he was little.
Did your granddad coach at Trinity?
No, sir.
Where did he coach at?
He didn't coach at all, but he coached park ball. He had coached Little League.
Football something that kind of runs in your family?
Yes, sir. Sports, wise, basketball, and football.
What does some of your family play?
Basketball.
Play anywhere in college, high school around here?
My auntie used to play in college, and that's really.
I love hearing about the athletic families.
Yeah.
There's some good ones in the area. And for you this season, talk about your success and your season at
it was nothing new because I started last year too as an 8th grader. So it really wasn't nothing new. I just knew I had to come out here and play better than how I played last year.
And how has this team grown since last season?
We've grown very, very good because like we started the season off 0-4, really. We were just like we got tired of losing. We had to, after the Riverside game, we just thought we got that momentum and winning.
And talking about your jump to high school varsity quick, man. That could be really hard. How much of your off-season workouts did you put in, and how much hard work did you have before the season started?
A lot. We worked out every morning, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And we worked out in the afternoon at 1, and we worked out late night for a little bit.
Was that all with the football team?
No, I was by myself. The only time we worked out in the football team was in the morning.
So you'd have 3 workouts a day in the summer. How many days a week would you say?
Every day.
Every day.
Yes,
7
sir.
days a week you were working out in the summer. That's
Yes, sir.
impressive. I love to hear that.
That is quite the schedule. How long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing it for the past 3 years.
3 years. So how did that start? Was there like a conversation that you had, or
I just talked to my granddad, and I just told him I really wanted to work. I wanted to go to the NFL. So he was just like, all right, we go work then. He set up a schedule for me, a routine. Did it from there.
What does that look like during the season? Do you kind of dial it back a little?
Yes, sir, I do.
So is it just kind of practice and kind of rehab a little bit?
Rehab, we work out a little bit here and there, and over the weekend and then games, it comes to me like that.
So your end goal is the NFL, correct?
Yes, sir.
So for you, obviously the next step is college. Putting on this early tape, putting in the work. What are you showing here as a player?
I'm showing the hard work. I'm just trying to show that I want to go to college, get my mom out of the predicament that she in.
Showed out last week against University Christian, and you guys had to battle back in that game. How much has the early season struggles kind of helped you to, in games like that, where you are down, kind of the resiliency?
It helped us a lot because we just had to really focus about got to keep working because we never know what it could come out to.
When you guys were 1-4, was there a big moment for you guys as a team where you came together?
Yes, like we really thought we was gonna lose. Like we thought we were gonna go to the playoffs and nothing. So we had to not back. We had to work hard in practice.
Was there a team meeting or anything?
The team meeting before the practice. We have it before the practice called devotion.
And is
for
that
like 30
kind of
minutes?
Is that the big phrase or motto for your team?
Yes, sir.
And talk about what that means.
Like, it means a lot because we speak more about God. We like how we come together as a team, as a family, as a brotherhood.
And that's kind of Trinity Christian football, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And to play running back, there are a lot of great running backs come out of Trinity Christian.
Yes,
are
sir.
you kind of familiar with the history there?
Yes, sir. Like Webb, he Florida, and Darnell. Them
Kind of your favorite Trinity back that you.
Webb.
Has he? Have you gotten to work with him at all here?
I ain't get to work, but he comes up to my mother's job, and my mama tell him about me a lot.
I feel like that's something we got to see here in the next few years. We got to see Micah Anderson and Trayon Webb together. He's over there at Florida. Just got John Summerall announced today, and we'll have coverage of that tonight on Action Sports Jacks at 10:30. And I'm not on TV. I think it's 10:30. 10:30, 11:15 with Stuart Weber. I try my best. I'm on the streaming side.
Yeah.
And then you guys got a big Final Four matchup now. Underdogs against Chamonix, Madonna. What are you guys doing to prepare for this game?
We just working hard, making sure we don't make no mistakes how we made against UC.
And what are some of those mistakes that you guys are trying to clean?
Like jumping off sides, getting the line right, getting the plays right, getting everything right for us.
Being doubted in this game, maybe overlooked a little.
Yes,
How is that motivating?
Just motivate us to keep pushing harder, keep working harder every day and practice all week so that Friday come.
Wishing you guys the best of luck. Micah, thank you for joining us here on the show.
Yes, sir. You're welcome to.
That is Micah Anderson here on the Blitz Breakdown. Back after this with Coach Kevin Sullivan. Going to be talking about our Player of the Year finalists when we come back.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder grade materials. And there's more, and for that we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts.
Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations. And they have delivery options too. Just download the Bonos app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bonos Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bonos Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
One thing I noticed is that when Chuck joined me, he challenged me.
You're going to be late.
Not as late as you. It's a natural thing between brothers, pushing each other.
Hey, it's one-upmanship. It's good for us, and it's good for our clients.
It doesn't get more fairer than that.
Welcome, everybody, back into the Blitz Breakdown. Noah Schlicksup, Brody McGough. And, Brody, we've been having some conversations here over the past couple weeks. We're deciding the top 25, Jaguars Action Sports Jacks All Prep, and we are deciding the player and coach of the year. And these have been some tight discussions. I can't hear. I don't think Brody's mic on.
Check.
Hey, there we go.
Maybe I muted myself in accident. I don't know how I did that. Yeah, man, a lot of debate between the guys at the station, Sully and Chandler, all of us, debate back and forth between these players, and this is a really tough task to do, but I think we've done a pretty good job with what we got.
And right now we are going to be unveiling the finalists here for the Player of the Year award here on the Blitz Breakdown. Brody, there are some very good players here around the area, and it's so tough to decide. You got to figure out, what are you prioritizing? Seniority? Are you giving benefit to seniors? Got to consider team around them.
Yep.
You got to decide, maybe it's not stats, maybe it's the player, maybe it is the stats, and what is it? There's been a lot of heavy discussions. Coach Kevin Sullivan joining us now. Coach, he's been quite the discussions here over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's very entertaining to be a part of this.
And you've been doing this for a few years now, so you're no stranger to it.
No, I always put the disclaimer that it's Brett's final decision. Brett and Stewart are the final decision. Don't send me direct messages on Twitter.
Yeah, we should preface that as well. We all got our own opinions
Stewart
and everything. One thing we can agree on, though, is that all these guys deserve consideration here and are well-deserved finalists. First one we're going to talk about, TJ Cole from Reigns, the defending player of the year. TJ Cole having another phenomenal year for the Reigns Vikings, leading them to the Final Four undefeated. He's completed 65% of his passes, 38 touchdowns to just 3 picks, 2,500 yards. And it's not just the stats. This guy, he throws dimes. He gets out of the pocket. He evades sacks. He's an all-around playmaker and an X factor on the field. It's going to be tough, Brody, making this decision. Do you give it to a guy back-to-back years? TJ Cole, just a special player.
Oh yeah, he is. He's a great QB over there at Reigns. I think he just broke their passing
passing touchdowns and passing yards.
Yeah,
he's best passer.
Oh yeah,
all time at Reigns.
He's the man over there, and he's doing a lot of good things. And that's the front runner for Reigns over there. So,
Coach, what do you got on TJ Cole?
Really got good control of their offense and everything over the last 2 years. And the thing about him, all his stats this year, how many games did he not play the fourth quarter? If you think about that.
A lot.
So, tremendous player. If he was 6'1", he'd probably be going to all the big-time universities. His height's a little bit of an issue. He's committed to FAM, but, man, playmaker, great kid. Look forward to following him in the future.
Yeah, committed to FAMU and going to do great things there. He's doubted. He's undersized, but he's going to carry that chip on his shoulder and be a great player at the next level. Next guy we got on the list, Brody.
Yeah, this guy, the next QB on this list and the last one is King Boylston out of Ed White's. I've been, watching this team from the beginning of the year, and they have really just pulled it together. This is the leader of the best high school football offense of all time in the state of Florida, and they've been doing a lot of good things, but King Boylston leading the pack for him. He could rush the ball. He could run very well. He runs the ball about like 15 to 20 times a game. They put the ball in his hands in big-time moments. He's a big-time passer. He throws dots across the middle, and he takes some epic shots down the sideline. He has done just a terrific job for this Ed White offense. Just had, just a really good season. He's been a part of the biggest thrillers we've seen this season. That Oak Cliff Ed White game could go down as one of the best games we called this season.
He nearly pulled off the pass of the season, too, at the end.
Yes, he did. And, he is so fun to watch. He's so dynamic, and he's only a junior, and he's got one more year to go, do it again and maybe do it better, maybe even become Ed White's leading passer in all-time history. He is awesome to watch, and he's the man over there at Ed White.
Yeah, this is two of the best quarterbacks in the area, and we've had some great quarterback play this season. These two guys are difference makers in both the passing and running game. They're just dynamic players. And for you, Coach, looking at King Boylston, what does he bring to the table?
I really like the way he's matured this year from last year, sort of getting a really good grasp. And about week 4 or whatever, man, he just started taking off, really throwing the ball well, had really good command of their offense. I was really impressed with him running the ball, too, inside the tackles, not just outside and everything. And I love his demeanor. I know he hurdled the guy on the 2-point play, and he flipped the ball to the official and jogged off and high-fived. He didn't go crazy and be showboating and everything. All business-like. And I really enjoy watching him, and I look forward next year. But he had a tremendous year. Ed White had a great year. Really proud of that kid. And Coach LJ doing his thing over there. And we're going to be big next year for them.
Definitely a guy to watch out for in this category as well next year. We've got some great returning players. In fact, looking at this list, 4 of our 6 Player of the Year finalists will be back next season. And here's one of them, Xander Edwards, because he's Xander Edwards, man. Yeah. He has had a crazy year. He leads the state in rushing and in touchdowns, 39 touchdowns, 2,385 yards. He's top 40 in the country in total touchdowns, broke a touchdown record previously held by Derrick Henry this season. Every single game, no matter who he's going up against, he's going to put up numbers and he's going to put up highlights. Xander Edwards is one of the best players in the area, no doubt. He might be the best player as a sophomore, and he's going to end up being one of the best running backs to ever come out of the area. Well deserving of this finalist role this season.
Xander's the man, and the fact that he's a sophomore doing what he's been doing this season is so impressive. He's a tough physical back, and he's got a lot of speed. Solely, what are you seeing out of Xander Edwards there at Bowles?
What I'm really impressed with is he really has great patience running the football. We always used to tell our guys, hold on a minute, I forgot what we used to tell our guys. Smooth to it and fast through it.
Okay.
And that's what I see him doing. And, boy, he's strong lower half. He explodes. He's real patient. He hits it, and he finds a little crease and goes and run. And I'm telling you, about week 3 or 4, they made the commitment to be more of a run-first team and throw off of it. And it's really opened everything up for them, and Xander's just really taken over from them.
Another guy that he's put up these numbers, how many fourth quarters has he sat out this year?
Yeah.
That's a good point, too.
If he didn't do that, I could very well see him being a 3,000-yard rusher this season. He sat out. He had just 4 carries against Wolfson and put up 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right. This guy is absurd, and he's gonna have a couple more great seasons here at the Bowles School. Brody, this next guy on the list, he might not have the numbers compared to some of these other guys, but he might be the best player in the area.
Yeah, this guy is a stud and one of my favorite players to watch. Samorian Wingo out of St. Augustine. He is definitely the leader of this pack. He goes up there and gets the ball. He gets the ball, and he's had about 150 yards receiving this season. And, that might not be as much as you would think compared to some other receivers.
750.
I just saw on Max Preps. That's what Max Preps told me. But anyways, And he might not have the best stats, but he gets like 3 to 5 catches in that range of game. Every time he touches the ball, something special happens when number one gets the ball in his hands. Wingo's been making it happen all season. He showed up in the biggest of big moments. He's one of the clutchest receivers I've ever watched in high school football. This guy is the man, and I'm really excited to see the rest of his career. He's going to Miami. He's a stud. Senior receiver out of St. Augustine. Is one of the scariest players to deal with.
He's made 3 of the best plays we have seen all season. He's gone out there and he makes plays in the biggest moments, in the biggest games, and when he has the ball in his hands, he is dominant.
Yeah.
It's tough to bring him down. He's got the best ball skills in the area, in my opinion, some of the best ball skills in the country, and there's a reason. He's such a highly touted recruit. He's a difference maker, and it's not just all about stats. He's got some great stats this year. He's put up numbers, but maybe not as much as some of these other guys. But when you talk to coaches around the area, when you watch him play, there is a reason that he's going to Miami, and there is a reason he could end up being our player of the year.
Yeah, and the thing about him, too, and then he flips over and plays some defense, too, and has some couple of good interceptions during the year, but he's an all-around player. He's so fluid. I went out, saw you out there the other night and watched him play live, but watching this young man since his sophomore year be a dominant player, and really impressed with him. Miami's getting them a good one.
Yeah, he's going to be an impact player at the next level, and who knows, maybe even the level after that. He's got that talent. And the next guy on our list, you see him every week. You know him by now. It's Bryson Wright. Not much else to say at this point. He's absurd. 983 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, and this year he's added over 400 more yards in the return game, not just kicking and punting returns. He's added 256 yards on interception returns. The kid finds the end zone. He makes plays. He's a dominant high school football player as a sophomore. He's captured the eyes of the nation, of the area, and it's been incredible to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's on overtimes every week, making just a crazy, ridiculous play. And, that is the last clip right there is the Bradford return. We talked about it earlier this year, but you could just see, it just comes so easy to him. The football is easy for Bryson Wright, and he does a really good job of everything. He plays both sides. He's a hard hitter as well. He's a great player on offense. He's one of the best ball hawks I've ever seen, and he's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, he can do it all, and I tell everybody, I don't know why they punt to him. Just kick that thing out of bounds because he's dangerous with the ball in his hands. He can go and beat you deep. He catches a little tunnel screens in the bubbles and takes it to the house. He's just a tremendous, talented young man, and he's got such a bright future as a sophomore. It's just amazing. Our underclassmen talent in North Florida this year is so big. We may have, before it's over, 3 of the top 10 in the class of 28.
Yeah, it's absurd. And one guy who was the first cut off this finalist list was Asher Gitto, and 22 sacks as a sophomore. Unbelievable from him. And the defensive player we do have on here, Brody, this guy from Nice, he's incredible.
Yeah, the only defensive player on this list, so he can get defensive MVP of the year. Drew Casey out of Nice. This guy is unreal. He's got north of 100 tackles this season. He's got some picks. There's one right there. He's nationally ranked in sacks. I'm not exactly sure how high up. Noah's going to do some researching for me on that one. But Drew Casey, this kid is a stud, and he plays at 110% every play. And when he gets you square up, that's not going to feel good at all. He lays the absolute wood, and he is just awesome. When I was watching him play against Oak Leaf and teams like St. Augustine and going up against teams with really good O-linemen, he will just forklift them out the way. He will say, move out the way. I'm going to go make a play. And anytime a team tries to run the ball towards his side, it doesn't end up well for them about 99% of the time. I mean, you just don't want to really throw the ball or run the ball his way. He is just an absolute tank out there, and he's so strong, so explosive. He was one of my favorite players to watch this year, and And, man, what a stud over there at Nice.
Yeah, the senior, 108 tackles, 33 tackles for loss, 21 sacks at linebacker.
Yeah.
This guy is one of the best players in the area and our defensive player of the year, though we don't give that award out. After this break, we're going to have our predictions for the Final Four. 4 area teams remain. Will they keep it going? We'll talk about it when we come back.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The thrill of winning never gets old.
But at Farah & Farah, it's not just about us. It's the thrill of fighting for our clients.
That's what drives us.
We've seen big insurance underpay car crash claims or flat out deny them.
It's sad to say, but it's true.
That's why we're so relentless, to get our clients every dollar they deserve.
It doesn't get more fairer than that.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Sandalwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Brody, it's time to pick 'em. The Final Four is here, and 4 teams remain in 4 classifications from the Jacksonville area. Starting off with 1A, we've got Chaminade Madonna going up against Trinity Christian. Chaminade Madonna is 10-2, the 1 seed, and a very interesting name for a high school. This is a game that Trinity is not favored in, and I think that they have had a great season, but this is a team that I believe their only losses are to St. Thomas Aquinas and a team from Maryland. So it's been a great year for Trinity Christian. I think they're going to be back here next year.
Yeah.
But I do not think that they're going to win this game. Chaminade Madonna is just too much to handle for them.
Yeah, Chaminade Madonna and Trinity Christian. I think it might be a better game I think it's going to be a good game, a better game than what most would think. I think Trinity is a scrappy team, but, the Cinderella story to me is probably going to go to an end. I'm really pulling for them hard, though. This is probably my favorite team left in the playoffs. I root for them so hard with the season they've gone through and how their team has responded to adversity. Very fun for them, but I'm going to pick Chaminade.
All right. So let me give you all a history lesson. Chaminade was an all-boys school. Madonna High School was an all-girls school down in Hollywood. And they eventually merged together to become Chaminade Madonna. Okay.
I did not know
I'm giving you that lesson.
It sounds like
and
a
that's
pop
who
song.
I'm taking home of Jeremiah Smith, Chaminade Madonna over Trinity.
That's
right.
funny.
The Trinity boys are on a roll. 8-win streak. I think they're going to make it 9. They do have a Chaminade Madonna has a 100% chance of winning, so I think Trinity's going to pull away with this one.
It sounds like a pop song. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Like, I could see that being a movie.
It sounds like a rock star name,
Well, I mean, it's Madonna.
Yeah, that's probably why I think that.
But that's home of Jeremiah Smith?
Jeremiah
You didn't know
Smith.
that? You didn't know that?
I don't follow, where these guys went to high school.
That's where Jeremiah
John
Smith.
Bostic.
Unless they're
I don't
from
know
the
if you remember
904.
that name.
John Bostic, I
Gator
remember
Grade.
him.
Yep.
Yeah, Florida Gator, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I might be wrong on that. Bostic might have gone to Central up in Palm Beach. I might be wrong on that. I have to
You
check
know
it.
what? I'm impressed that you know where John Bostic, went to high school in that area, though.
When Jeremiah was there, they had a really good QB and another 4-star D1 receiver too. They were stacked.
See, you guys follow the national high school landscape
more
than
just
I do.
Florida.
Well, just Florida.
I think.
I mean, they're Florida.
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah.
and Georgia. Probably follow Georgia a little bit more since
I
being
agree.
in North Florida. But we're always going to root for the 904. Right,
Oh, yeah.
You got to.
No, I'm purely a 904 guy. Outside of that, not too much for me. I'll know some of the big ones, but I'm not a big national high school type of guy.
Jeremiah was the original OT 7 every week guy, though. That's also another thing. Bryson gets all of it. That was Jeremiah before.
Yeah,
Just to add that.
I wasn't on many social media then when he was
True.
I just got on a couple years ago. But anyways, we got off track. That's my bad. 2A, we got Bulls going up against Cardinal Gibbons. Bulls in the reseeded Final Four is the 2 seed. Cardinal Gibbons is the 3 seed. Bulls 12-1. Cardinal Gibbons 10-3. I think this could end up being a good game, but Bulls at home is going to pull away late and come away with the W.
Yeah, when we get this deep in the playoffs, that's when I'm starting to get in an uncharted territory. I really don't know much of these teams. The only reason why Cardinal Gibbons rings a bell is because I'm pretty sure that quarterback Netflix show, one of the QBs was on it, and they were pretty good back then. So they know what it's like to be in the playoffs and run deep. But I think Bulls is just a powerhouse this year, and I don't really need to see too much. I got Bulls winning this game.
All right. Another history lesson for you. Cardinal Gibbons beat Bulls in 2020 state championship game, something like 42-14. So there's a little bit of revenge factor going on. They had a really good quarterback. They're sort of young. They started off not real well and gotten better as they've gone on. They've won a couple state championships in the last 10 years, but I'm going to go with Bulls.
Yeah, I got a score prediction of 48-20 Bulls.
All right, so we're going with a score now.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it. Bold prediction there from a bold man, Chandler Dantzler.
904, baby.
On to 3A. We got Reigns. We got Booker. This is a game where it was decided by less than a touchdown last year in the Final Four. Could end up being a test for Reigns, or it could end up being another Vikings blowout. We don't really know. But Reigns is 12-0. They are rolling. And they're going to meet Miami Northwestern in the state championship. I tell you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Booker, they're probably on their own type of revenge tour season. They probably had this goal to go play Reigns and get into the state championship this year. So I think this is going to be a really fun one. But you got to go to the graveyard in December. That's probably one of the worst places to be in playoff football. That's a rocking crowd in a great stadium over there. I'm going to take the Vikings winning this one.
Well, I'm going to stay on the Viking train, and I agree. I think it'll be Reigns and Miami Northwestern next week. And Booker's going to come over. I think it's going to be a little close early And I think Reigns will take care of business and make some adjustments and go. But I think it's going to be a big crowd, great game, great high school football. But I think Reigns comes out on top.
Yeah, I like you guys picking the 904 teams, so I'm going to stick with the 904 teams. I think this will be a dominant win by the Reigns Vikings.
I have heard some rumblings that Brody McGough and Noah Schlicksup might be making an appearance this week.
That is very possible.
To catch the game out at the graveyard. We getting Coach Sullivan out there?
No, not this week.
Not this week? No games for you this week?
No games this week for me.
I feel like
I'm on duty.
Oh, okay. You got to respect that. We've been talking. We got 2 local games this week. So the Blitz breakdown crew, we got to have someone in each of them, right? So I think Chandler's going out to Bowles, and then I think I'm going out to Reigns. We'll see if Brody tags along.
It'll be a game time decision, but I am feeling it.
Game time decision.
You know what? I feel like you got to experience it, man. You said it yourself. It's the graveyard in December.
You're right.
On to our last game. 5A, we got the 2-seeded Lakeland against number 3 Ponte Vedra. Both of them coming in 11-2. Ponte Vedra, another team that's turned some heads, a bit of a Cinderella story type of season for them. They made it to their first Final Four since 2016, but this is another one where you look at Lakeland's losses. It comes to the First Academy and De La Salle from California, who is the Max Preps number 15 team in the country. I think Ponte Vedra, you hope they give them a game. And who knows? It's still a game. It's decided. There's a reason you play the game. It's decided on the field. But in the end, I think this is one where Ponte Vedra comes up short.
Yeah, back when I played and years prior to that, we talk about how good Buell's is. Usually their season ended losing to Lakeland. That's usually how they would lose. They would lose in the Final Four game against Lakeland. So Lakeland is quite the powerhouse down there. And this is a very tall task for Ponte Vedra. If they could pull this off, man, that would be some impressive stuff right there. But, I think Lakeland's going to win. But best of luck to Ponte Vedra. And excited to see what they do against that Lakeland team.
Yeah, it'd be a really good environment. Really hard place to play down there in Lakeland at that stadium. They'll have a really big crowd. I think PV will be excited. I don't think they'll be intimidated at all. I think they're really well coached. I think they'll have a chance probably through about 3 quarters, and then I think they're going to pull away Lakeland at the end. And so I think Lakeland's going to get them.
Yeah, when I was looking at this matchup, I was going back and forth a little bit, but I had a little weird thought that the 904 team was going to win, so I'm sticking with the Sharks. I think they're going to pull out in the late fourth quarter win.
You know what? In a week where loyalty has been questioned, is it still alive in football? Everyone just look to Chandler Dantzler and him picking the 904. Chandler, that's one loyal man right there.
One more week.
Also got that Jaguars hat on.
Hey, we're rolling.
And the Jaguars with a big matchup
Monday,
here.
Let's go.
They're rolling.
Victory Monday and a big-time division matchup this Sunday, and you can catch plenty of talk about that here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, as well as high school coverage here on Friday night. And we'll be back here with the Blitz Breakdown next week, state championship week, and hopefully we'll have a few teams there. But until then, Noah Schlicksup signing off. We will see you guys next time on the Blitz Breakdown.
Experience is priceless, but there's experience in being a lawyer, and there are life experiences too. You got to have both. There are a lot of good lawyers out there. But the real question is, are they good enough to take time to listen? Are they good enough to treat you with dignity and respect? In other words, are they good enough for you? When we say we're old school, but not old fashioned, we do things in a timeless, classic way that our clients really